Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different connections, not just to the prequels and the originals, but also other forms of canon material that falls under the Disney Star Wars universe. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one aspect of Episode 9 that a lot of people are really looking forward to is, of course, exactly how the prequel trilogy continuity as well as the original trilogy content is going to be used in a way in order to evolve the characters of Kylo, Rey, Luke, Lando, Han, you name it, even General Leia Organa. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intriguing for this movie. Now, specifically, what's really exciting is that a description of both Kylo Ren and the new villain called the Dark Acolyte, locking both of their lightsaber blades together. It's described that Kylo is using Anakin's blue lightsaber and that Rey threw to him just before the duel between himself and the new villain began. It's described that the Dark Acolyte is giving Kylo a lecture while their blades are locked together about the dark side, and is trying to rid of any conflict within Kylo Ren. It's said that the temptation within Kylo grows and that he is beginning to side with the new foe for a moment, where it's said that Kylo is planning to hear the voice of Anakin Skywalker while wielding his saber that eventually guides Kylo away from the foe that is said to have a connection and or a link to Emperor Palpatine / Darth Sidious. Anakin's voice is described to be faint and in the distance, however audible to Kylo, where it eventually guides him to rid of the temptation from the Acolyte, dubbed also as Vance. This sequence is also described to be very emotional and will be a scene in which Kylo begins to get the upper hand against the Dark Acolyte. So I want to go over a couple of parts about all of this because, as you all know, guys, we do know that Episode 9 really is going to bring back the full aspect of family, especially for the character of Kylo Ren and Rey, and that's exactly, I think, what a lot of fans want to see in this movie is exactly, how family is really going to be connected to, of course, both Rey and Kylo Ren, and how that's actually going to make them evolve as characters from start to finish of the film. So first things first, I want to go over this new villain. Now, in case you guys did not know, alright, for the longest time we have been hearing that the spirit of Sidious is going to be connected to the Dark Acolyte in this film, toward the very end of the movie. So this character, in a sense, is possessed by Palpatine, and is actually going up against Kylo Ren. Now, keep in mind that this new villain is also dubbed as the Dark Acolyte, also known as Vance, V-A-N-C-E. So, what's really intriguing to me, though, is that there is a sequence in the film in which Kylo Ren is using the iconic Skywalker family saber, where it's ignited and locking blades with the new villains, after, of course, Rey throws it toward Kylo Ren and he catches it, and then he protects and defends himself to go up against the new villain. However, this is where the villain begins to try to tempt, Kylo Ren in order to give in to the dark side fully, and to rid of any conflict stirred within him that Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost was creating, of course, by the Han Solo visions. So, with that being said, what's really intriguing about all of this is that it's described that Kylo Ren eventually begins to hear a voice. The voice of Anakin Skywalker that is described to be very faint and in the distance, however, at the same exact time, very much audible for the character of Kylo, where the Force Ghost of Anakin's voice essentially guides Kylo away from the temptation of giving in to the full dark side abilities of course, the Dark Acolyte. Now, in case you guys did not know, the Dark Acolyte is going to play a major role in the third act of Episode 9. It really is going to be something that fans are really going to enjoy. The last time that we ever saw a 2-on-1 lightsaber duel was, of course, ever since Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So I think it's going to be a very, welcomed moment for fans in order to see all three of these characters engaging in a fight. But nonetheless, guys, like I say, this is very, very poetic for Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost voice to tune in to help Kylo Ren and to guide him away from that temptation because of the Dark Acolyte and his link and/or connection to, of course, the spirit of Sidious, actually giving influence to Kylo Ren and to the dark side, and stirring him within all of that and guiding him away from that temptation. So you can really see how this, in a sense, could very well be Anakin Skywalker taking on revenge against Palpatine in a very unique and specific, odd way. So, like I say, guys, I think that what they're trying to do with this film is that they're really trying to make this movie fit in like a puzzle to all the past 8 Star Wars movies, where like he always says, like JJ always says, is the culmination of the Skywalker saga. They are treating this movie as a sequel to 8 movies that come before it, and not just a sequel to The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, which is great because this tells us this movie is going to have a lot of prequel elements and original trilogy elements, and, you know, how we look at the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey in a different way in comparison to both of the past 2 movies. I think it's going to be rather impressive to see exactly, you know, how the different cameos are going to be used in a sense in order to evolve them from start to finish of this movie. So let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to